Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be answering a ton of questions that I've kept in my camera roll for a while. All of these are from Instagram. I've asked for questions so many times because I've planned on making this video for a really long time now, but I'm finally getting around to it. So with that said, let's just jump into these questions because there are a lot of them and I'm actually going to be trying to answer as many of them as possible. So the first question is, how old are you? And right now I'm 18. I'm going to be turning 19 on September 26th. So yeah, I am kind of young for my grade. So the next question is, do you love math? And the answer is yes, but only certain types of math. So I really enjoy things like algebra and calculus as long as they're not too complex. I definitely hated differential equations, which I took during my very first semester of college, and it was a struggle. And I really hate discrete math, as you probably know if you watched my study vlogs, but overall, yes, I do love math. I like how logical it is and how easy it is to follow along with it. The next question is, how many hours did you study today? And the answer is 0 because I am on summer break right now. However, I am going to be starting to pre-study for my classes because I need to brush up on my coding skills since I'm taking a pretty hard coding class this fall, and I'm actually going to be vlogging that whole process, so stay tuned for that vlog. But as of right now, I have not been studying. The next question is, what's your favorite song at the moment? My favorite song always changes, so at the moment, let me actually check my Spotify. Okay, I can't choose a single favorite song right now because there are just so many that I've been enjoying this summer, but I've recently gotten into Chase Atlantic, and so good. So good. I can't believe I haven't discovered them earlier, but yes, highly recommend them. Their songs are addictive and they're also my exact taste in music, so 10 out of 10 would recommend. The next question is, why is your feed so nice? And first of all, thank you. And second of all, I actually have a whole video detailing my whole photo editing process. But other than that, I like to take all of my pictures during the same time of day so that it's kind of consistent. But even though I try to do that, I definitely don't have the most consistent feed in terms of lighting, but we're getting there. The next question is a really good one, and it's, how do you deal with exam results anxiety? So I definitely struggle with this, and I still don't have the most perfect answer for this. But essentially, I just like to use distractions, and this works well with most of my types of anxiety, including exam results anxiety. So after the exams are over, I try to just put them out of my mind, which is easier said than done, but with practice and over time it becomes easier. And then what I like to do is I like to watch shows that I've been wanting to watch, read, basically do everything that I wanted to do instead of studying for my exam. And now that the exam is over, obviously I'll have time to do that. So yeah, I just like to use distractions and focus on self-improvement and putting more time into my hobbies. The next question is, bullet journal or planner? And I definitely think a planner is more efficient for me. If I were to have a bullet journal, I would literally spend like 5 hours on a single spread because I like everything to be perfect. So yeah, for me a planner is better. However, right now I actually have not been using either of them. Actually, all throughout college, I've just been using a combination of Notion and Google Calendar. And this has been working so well for me. And after I get my syllabi and after I have all of my exam dates and assignment due dates and things like that, I'm actually going to be showing you my Notion and how I use it to keep track of everything. The next question is, where are you from? And the answer is Michigan. So yes, I am attending college in the same state. No. The next question is, what shows do you watch? And I actually made a Notion page for all the shows that I've watched and the shows that I want to watch. So let me just go through that right now. But essentially, what I'm watching right now is I'm finishing up Psych, which was recommended to me a long time ago, but I just got around to watching it. And I recently finished rewatching Sherlock. Sherlock is my all-time favorite show. There is no show better than that. Like, you literally cannot find a better show on this planet, I swear. And then other than that, Friends and The Office and Brooklyn Nine-Nine are definitely my comfort shows. Again, I'll do a whole Notion tour where you'll get to see every single show that I've put on here. But some of my favorites are definitely Doctor Who. As you can probably tell, I love BBC shows. Gossip Girl, How I Met Your Mother, Jane Eyre, which is another really short one-season BBC show, and obsessed. One Tree Hill, Pretty Little Liars, Quantico, Suits. Oh my god, Suits is one of my favorite shows. I love anything that has to do with lawyers and just law shows in general. Another really good law show is The Good Wife. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will also link the vlog where I made this Notion page from a template, so that'll be in the description if you want to check that out. The next question is, what's your favorite fine liner? And as you probably know by now, I've switched to being a completely digital student for the most part, so I don't use things like fine liners and pens and highlighters anymore, but when I did use them, I really loved the Papermate Flair felt tip pens, and those are pretty similar to fine liners. I would personally consider them to be a fine liner, and they were such high quality. Kind of expensive, but I thought they were worth it, so yes, highly recommend those. The next question is, can you post more study tips? And I absolutely can. I have so many that are not like the typical generic tips that you often find on the internet. The thing is, they're usually specific to a subject. So I study differently for math-based subjects than I would for something else like a humanities-based subject. So I don't think I would be able to put them all in like one concise video, but I can definitely make a playlist of those videos as I get around to filming them. The next question is, can I see your phone case? And yes, I will pop a picture of it up on the screen right now. It's from Amazon and it's a marble case. It's super thin and sleek, which I love. Not very protective though, so if you're looking for something protective, I would not recommend this. And I also think it was sold out the last time I checked Amazon, but I will still link it anyway. What kind of phone and laptop and other electronics do you normally use? So I have the iPhone XR. It's been working pretty well for the past almost 2 years now. I really hate the new iPhones because they have like 2 or 3 cameras on the back of them, and I know that that improves the camera quality, and that's probably something I should actually really care about since I use my phone to record. But they're just so ugly. Like, I don't see myself getting one of those anytime soon, especially since my phone is functioning very well. And then the laptop that I currently use is the MacBook Pro 15-inch. And it's from 2017. Again, this works super well. It has the i7 processor, I think, and I've barely had any issues with it. It does say that there's a service recommended for my battery, but I haven't really noticed any battery issues. Like, it lasts for hours if I unplug it, so not too worried about that right now. And then my iPad that I use to take notes and make graphics and occasionally watch things is the iPad Air 3rd generation. The screen is 10.5 inches and it's the 64 gig one. I didn't want to upgrade on storage because I knew that I was only going to be using it for school. And with that, I use the Apple Pencil 1st generation. The next question is, do you plan on continuing your Instagram in college, and what about after college? So yes, I haven't been posting on there nearly as much as I've been wanting to, just because life has gotten so hectic for me lately. But I do plan on continuing that, and I will be posting this weekend actually. And after college, yes, I will be continuing it. I'm planning on shifting more towards lifestyle at that point than studying, although I will always be taking courses here and there, and always going to be continuing to expand my knowledge. As of right now, I don't think I'm getting a master's or a PhD, so it's all going to be like online classes to support my career, but yeah, should be a good time. So you should follow me on there if you don't already. What do you use for editing? So I edit my videos on Adobe Premiere Pro, and then I use a whole bunch of apps for my photo editing. So again, check out that video. I typically start out in Snapseed, and then I go to Lightroom, and then Procreate, and then finally VSCO. How did you get into being part of the StudyGram community? So I actually just stumbled across StudyGram posts on my Explore page, and I immediately loved everything that I was seeing. Everything was just so motivating and aesthetic, and that was what I wanted my life to be like, so that's why I just started posting. I also thought that I had a lot of tips that were not widely used, and I thought they were more effective than the ones that I was seeing on there, so I wanted to share those too. Favorite musician, like I said before, Chase Atlantic right now, but it always changes. Favorite quote. This is hard because I have so many, but it's definitely from one of Rupi Kaur's books. I can't choose one off the top of my head, but highly recommend her books. I will pop some really good ones up on the screen right now. Last photo you took. This is the last photo I took. How was your day? So it's almost noon, so it's not like the beginning of the day, but I just woke up a couple hours ago, and so far it's been good. I've been drinking my green tea, which looks like beer, but it's not. I do have a huge to-do list to get onto, but other than that, it's been pretty good. If you didn't want to be a CS major, what major would you be? So actually, I want to change my major. If you saw my I'm transferring video, and I want to study UI UX design instead. Dream GPA versus current GPA. This is so interesting because I think I got this question in high school. Like I said, I've been saving these questions for a while, and back then my dream GPA was definitely a 4.0 unweighted. Like, I wanted that so bad, and I graduated high school with that GPA. But now in college, I've started to realize that, especially going into tech, my GPA really does not matter. And I mean, obviously there are some jobs that will state that they want at least like a 3.0 or something like that, but for the most part, like, people in tech don't really care what your school GPA is, because academia is so different from actually applying tech and being innovative and creating new things. So as of right now, I don't have a dream GPA, and I am fine with that. Also, my current GPA is a 4.0, but that's only because I used a pass on some classes. You're seriously so hardworking. Don't you feel tired of studying so much? So I feel like this is a really common misconception that a lot of people have about me, and it's that I never stop working and that I'm constantly doing productive things, and that's definitely not the case. I take lots of breaks, like so many, and I disperse them throughout the day. However, when I have a ton of things to do, I definitely tend to overwork myself because I want to get everything done, and also once I start a task, I feel like I have to finish that task before I can do anything else, which can be really tiring. So yes, I do get tired of studying so much. I definitely used to burn myself out so often, but that's really not the case for me anymore, and I think that's because I have found somewhat of a work-life balance, and I've stopped making school like my only personality trait, which probably isn't very apparent from my channel. But yeah, I've just been focusing more on my hobbies and making time for things that I really want to do, because I've come to realize that although studying was kind of fun in high school, and it still is a little fun in college, it's definitely not something that I want to be doing for much longer. So I've started to stray from only studying, and I've been putting more work into other things that I might want to do in the future, like graphic design, teaching myself UI UX stuff, reading more. I am so behind on my reading challenge this year, but I'm hoping to catch up, and there will be a reading vlog coming soon. I've been watching more shows because life is short and I want to watch so many different things, as you will probably see in my Notion page. So I just want to be able to get around to everything that I want to do. Highly recommend doing the same thing if you feel tired of studying so much too. Favorite YouTubers. So I have so many, and I will go through them all right now for you. First up, we have Brittany Lee, and she makes student diaries videos, which is how I found her channel, and she also makes a lot of productive work life type videos, so highly recommend her. Then we have Chandler Ainsley, and she is a booktuber, and she has the best taste in books. I feel like my personal taste in books is very similar to hers, so highly recommend her. Next we have Hello, it's Angela, and I found her from her college vlogs, but I still watch her for her lifestyle content. Lifestyle content is probably my favorite thing to watch on YouTube right now. Then we have Holly Gabriel, and I highly recommend her university vlogs if you're looking for some serious motivation. I quite honestly have not been keeping up with her new content, although I'm hoping to catch up on her channel soon. Next is Caitlin Films and her second channel, Kate's Crossing, which is her Animal Crossing channel. Caitlin keeps it so real on her channel, and her content is so aesthetic and motivating and chill, and I just can't recommend it enough. She's definitely one of my top comfort YouTubers. Next is Lauren Doan, and she makes the best lifestyle content, I swear. Like, her aesthetic also is so similar to what I want my aesthetic to be, and she has a super cute puppy, so highly recommend. Next is my other top comfort YouTuber, which is Morgan Long, and she is a videographer, and her talent is unparalleled. I have never seen such well-made videos on YouTube, and she definitely deserves so much more attention because she puts so much effort into her videos, so definitely go check her out. She also makes booktube type reading vlog videos, so recommend those as well. And then the last one that I'll mention for now is Yura Jung. You've probably all heard of her, but I love how real she keeps her vlogs as well. She is also a college student. Actually, she just graduated, but highly recommend her study vlogs. The next question is, who is my favorite Office character? And that is a tough one, because I love all of the characters so much. I feel like they're all so relatable in different ways. As of right now, I'm gonna have to say that my favorite character is probably Pam, because she is so realistic in the fact that she is a receptionist but has such strong passions like art that she wants to pursue, and she keeps facing blockers in her life. Seeing Pam's journey is so inspiring, especially as someone who wants to work in kind of a creative industry. Favorite bag color? This is an interesting question. I don't think I've ever been asked this before, but it's actually such a good question because my favorite color is so different from my favorite bag color. So for my favorite bag color, I'd say black, just because it goes with just about everything, and I think black bags just look so elegant. Least favorite color is red. I absolutely hate the color red because it reminds me of blood, and I am scared of blood. How do you stay motivated? So the thing is, I am so scared of failure, and that is pretty much the strongest thing that keeps me going. Not the most healthy thing to keep me going, I will say that. I have definitely tried to get rid of that fear of failure and fear of being less than perfect, but it is a constant journey. Other than that, I would say just keeping your goals in mind and making sure that you're doing something every day that your future self will thank you for can really go a long way. However, it is also okay to have lazy days, so yeah, just find a balance that works for you, and once you fall into a lifestyle that really works for you, I feel like it'll keep you motivated like 90% of the time. And then for the other 10%, sometimes you'll have to motivate yourself to do things if you have anything pressing coming up. Other times you can just use your time to do whatever you want. So yeah, that is how I stay motivated. And I also like to reward myself. So Like, for example, like I mentioned before, after my exams are over, I always like to chill and do things that I didn't really have time for while I was studying for my exam. Do you prefer handwriting your notes, writing on an iPad, or typing them? So it depends on the subject. For things like computer programming, it is very hard to handwrite notes for those, so I type all of my notes for my computer programming courses. But when it comes to things like math or science, I like to write on an iPad with my Apple Pencil. Back when I used to handwrite notes in high school, I really enjoyed that experience as well, so I don't really have any strong recommendations, but I will say that having an iPad and taking notes on there has really streamlined my organization system and my study habits. The next question is on campus or off campus, and definitely on campus. The last question for today is, how was your experience with college apps? College apps were so stressful for me, especially because I had to figure out just about everything on my own, but I do have a lot of tips to share, so be on the lookout for those. I actually have recently been mentoring some high school students, so I have been giving them college app advice, and I feel like I have a lot that you definitely cannot find on the internet so far, at least not easily. So yeah, I feel like the hardest part of college apps is just the fact that they can make you feel like you're doing nothing with your life, and they can make you feel so worthless, especially when they ask you things like, what is something that you've been working on that you're really passionate about, and do you feel like you haven't been working on anything? And I definitely feel like my self-confidence and self-esteem during college app season went so downhill, and it was so bad for my mental health. And also just waiting to hear back from colleges was so stressful and really activated my anxiety. So I do have tips for dealing with all of that, and just know for now that it really, at the end of the day, does not matter what college you go to. There are people who go to top Ivy Leagues who are working the same jobs as people who went to community college. Like, it really does not matter that much. Of course, it is beneficial to go to some colleges over other colleges depending on what you want to do with your life. But once you press submit on your college apps, like, there's nothing left for you to do. And that was so hard for me to realize and come to terms with, especially because I didn't feel like my college apps were the best. But yeah, just like dealing with exam results anxiety, it's the same sort of thing. Just try to distract yourself. I definitely did not think I would be attending U of M when I was in high school. I thought I was going to be going out of state for college, and that was something that I really wanted to do because I didn't want to go to a college with a bunch of people from my high school. But somehow things always work out, even though I never expect them to. I'm not sure if any of my answers were really detailed enough, but I hope you gained something out of this video, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.
I've been holding out, it's hard to hide the truth. You've been good to